Dismiss me, remove me, personify me by what you perceive as reality. Hate me without reason, treat me like the enemy. You didn't give me a choice, so go rejoice. I'll make my own move. I have nothing to prove. They say to take the high road, but I know you made me out to be the villain, which means I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy, persecute me with extremity. I'm the enemy, why won't you sit beside me? This isn't what I chose, they feed me to the crows, that's the way life goes. I'm the enemy, why won't you sit beside me? Extremity. I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Despite what's inside, they sit there and lie. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be an adversary, but you made the choice. So sit there and rejoice. I'm your enemy, and that's just how it be. I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Extremely. I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy. Persecute me with extremity. Perhaps one day you and I may see eye to eye, but I'm not the guy to just lay down and die. That's not how this story ends. I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy. Persecute me with extremity. I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Tossed aside, we don't see eye to eye. We could have been friends, but instead you chose an enemy.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. I am running late. I'm trying to get things going here. I played the song to to give me some time. But just bear with me for a moment, please, as I get things ready here. I'm also having an issue where, for some reason, one of my videos got uploaded with the wrong thumbnail, and I'm trying to get that fixed. Did it fix? No, it didn't. Why? Why is it not? It just refuses to change the thumbnail, and I don't know why. Damn it! Hurry up! Look, I'm hurrying. All right. There's a ton of news to get through today. I don't even know what to start with today. Basically Civil War broke out over the weekend, so I don't even know what story to start with, because there's just so much going on right now. Let's see if I go over to this one. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this stuff. Let's talk about the Nick Sorter stuff first, because things are going down in Portland, Oregon, as well as Chicago. That's apparently where the Civil War is going to start, is Chicago and Portland. So let's talk about that. So let's go to this one. All right, so let's talk about Nick Sorter. An easy fix, Tyler. You know better. Look. I'm running late because of my IBS. All right. Look, I woke up like 3 hours ago to have to use the bathroom, and then I was like, all right, great. I won't have to do it later then. Nope. I woke up like fucking 30 minutes before the show, and I got stuck in the bathroom again. So look, that's why I'm late. All right. I got fucking stomach issues, and it is my fault. To be fair, I shouldn't have eaten pizza yesterday. That's my fault. I should not have eaten pizza. Anyway, let's talk about the Nick Sorter stuff, because there's a ton of stuff going on in Portland and Chicago. I'm not gonna be able to cover all of it because there's just too much. There's too much going on. Basically, what's happening though is Donald Trump has sent in federal agents to go and help with the mass deportations in Portland, Oregon. And there's been a lot of agitators and people protesting and whatever else. Yeah, it's some crazy stuff. But we have this from Nick Sorter. So Nick Sorter got arrested for defending himself during one of these protests the other night. And we have this from Fox News. Portland police arrest conservative journalist on another night of chaotic anti-ICE clashes. Conservative journalist Nick Sorter told Fox News he was jumped by Antifa thugs. Let's see, what does this video say?
Whoa.
All the bike police rolling up.
What's your name?
Talk about all the
Get
beeping.
ready to turn that phone off. Let me scan your body.
That's the secret, is doing the show from the porcelain throne. No. Just done the show from the... No. The acoustics in the bathroom are terrible. Why would I do that? Yeah, there's been a lot of videos over the weekend of people getting pulled into this ICE facility and arrested. But the local authorities aren't, like, doing anything. Aren't really doing much. I don't know what the beeping's all about. Oh, it's because it's Fox News. They're censoring all the cuss words and stuff. Whatever. But yeah, so it says here, conservative journalist Nick Sorter was captured on video being taken into custody in Portland, Oregon, during another night of chaotic protests outside a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility. The arrest came after Portland Police Bureau said it was monitoring the protests during the evening and observed some protest participants engaging in fights. Nick Sorter was charged with disorderly conduct in the second degree. This was a big surprise to me, as it was to everybody else. All of a sudden, I'm being jumped by Antifa thugs, Sorter told Fox News correspondent Bill Malugan following his release. I get back up, I stumble away, and I go back toward cops where I think, at least, all right, well, maybe there's a safer place for me to go. Never suspected that I was going to be the target of the arrest, that they were coming into me. When they put me into handcuffs, the first thing that went through my mind is, oh, you're being arrested. It's, oh, they're trying to help you get you out of here and make it look like they're doing something, because they aren't telling me what they were doing. They weren't telling me I was under arrest. They weren't telling me what I was being charged with. And it took over an hour for me to find out what I was charged with. ICE director says Portland facility faces violence with little help from local police. Yeah, the local police haven't been doing anything. We'll talk about that next. A Portland Police Bureau spokesperson told Fox News Digital that among those arrested Thursday was an individual known to have a significant social media presence, as well as others representing a range of political viewpoints. As with all such situations, arrests are based on observed behavior and probable cause, not political affiliation or public profile. Formal charges will be determined by the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office. PPB remains, that's Portland Police Bureau, I'm assuming, remains committed to protecting public safety, upholding the rights of all individuals to lawfully assemble, and enforcing the law impartially. Yeah, but they're not peacefully assembling. They tried to jump this guy. They tried to jump Nick Sorter. And then you have, you had this fight going on, too. This is a separate incident, but this guy was instigating the guy on the right, and he started taking swings on him. Let's see. Post-millennial investigative reporter Katie Daviscourt said on X that police announced that they were making targeted arrests following several scuffles. Sorter was being targeted by Antifa shortly before. So they threw multiple punches at me. They broke my camera by hitting that, so I was on the ground at that point. I tried to swing. I missed. I think I have every right to swing on somebody that has got me on the ground and has me on the ground after punching me and after breaking my equipment. Portland Police Bureau said at about 8:09 p.m., the Bureau dialogue officers observed two men fighting near the ICE driveway. The DLOs called in additional resources, and officers were responding when the fight ended following one participant being knocked to the ground. He did not lose consciousness and never requested medical help. Both involved were detained by federal law enforcement and were later released. Neither party indicated they wanted to make a police report. I think Portland, I don't know if it's Portland or it's just the state of Oregon in general, but they have mutual combat laws, I'm pretty sure. So you are allowed to engage in mutual combat But at about 11:16 p.m., Portland police said its rapid response team moved in and arrested 3 people who were all booked in the Multnomah County Detention Center. Police identified those arrested on the disorderly conduct charge as Nicholas Sorter, 27, of Washington, D.C., Sun Mai Yi, 43, of Portland, and Angela Davis, 49, of Vernonia, Oregon. So here, let's actually watch the video from Nick Sorter. So Nick Sorter posted this video. I guess this was posted by Rain D. Amacher. But he said, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, I will be arraigned in Portland for disorderly conduct to the 2nd degree. I will not take a plea deal of any kind because I did nothing wrong. I will fight this until the end and expose Portland police in the process. This is the altercation that I'm supposedly being charged for, an altercation where I was clearly the victim, asked my assailant multiple times to leave me alone, gave multiple warnings, etc., before I was punched and pushed into a hole. My assailant was not arrested. We have identified the person and will be making a post on that later today. So let's watch the, roll the tape. Roll the tape.
I'm walking down the street.
First, they have to cover their face.
Get out of here! I'll fuck your ass up! I will fuck your ass up! Get out of here! Get out of here now! You're gonna get fucking face! Don't fucking
Yeah, there's a mob of people pushing him. They all support it. You can hear all of them laughing.
Nice rainbow color. I like your rainbow.
They're still all surrounding him. The person that took the first swing, of course, ran away. Ridiculous. He said, F out of here, white boy, too. Wow. Let's see, what else does it say here? Mulligan also said on an X post that he had spoken to Sorter on the phone after he was released from custody. Mulligan said that Sorter told him that he was getting video of protesters getting maced by federal agents, which was embarrassing video for them as they were crying, etc. He says that they were then swarmed around and surrounded him, pushed him down into a flower bed, and someone threw a punch. Nick says he swung back and missed, then disengaged and walked over to a group of Portland PD. He says he was then shocked to be arrested by them, and he sat in the back of the police cruiser while officers figured out what to charge him with. I asked him about the female protester who was also arrested with him. He said he talked to her in jail, and she didn't seem like she was the one who assaulted him. Well, according to the video, it was a very heavy-set male. Sorter appeared to be covering the unrest in Portland at the Portland ICE facility prior to being taken into custody. In one video posted to his X account, Sorter said an individual jumped onto federal property at the Portland ICE facility and challenged agents to do something about it, and they did, quickly. The dude ended up on the pavement, arrested, dragged into the facility. Yeah, I think, is that the video where they had him on top of a car? I think there was that might be a separate video, but I think I saw it on Friday. Someone jumped on top of a car, and then they got friggin' tackled. It was pretty funny. An exclusive interview with Mulligan, Camilla Wamsley, director of Portland's ICE office, previously said that the facility has faced violence for more than 100 consecutive nights, with Portland police largely absent under guidance from the mayor and city council. It's frustrating for us to watch people be attacked on the street and know that we don't have the authority to be able to really step up unless there's some nexus to federal law. She said nightly protests have escalated beyond chants and signs, with bottle rockets striking the ICE building and rocks shattering windows, lasers targeting officers' eyes, and barricades blocking vehicles. Wamsley said protesters had followed ICE staff members home and doxed at least 6 employees. Yeah, Portland, Oregon, the lawmakers there and the police department there are refusing to aid anything to do with the federal law enforcement that's there right now. And in fact, even though they have no authority to do so, this is crazy, guys, and this is happening now in multiple states. We now have the California National Guard being sent into Oregon because a federal judge has blocked the National Guard of Oregon from being deployed. So now we have another state sending its military in to go and quell unrest. And it's not just Oregon and California. We also see Illinois and Texas Texas National Guard, 400 Texas National Guard have now been called up to be sent to Illinois to go and help secure Chicago. That we have active, like, I don't know what else you call this. These cities are in active rebellion against the United States government. They're doing everything within their power to not openly be enacting a civil war. I don't know what else we call it at this point besides a civil war. What is the history books going to call this? We had a government shutdown that it's projected to last over a month. And in the midst of that shutdown, while mass deportations are trying to be carried out, which is within the full authority of the United States government, the federal government has full authority over who's allowed to be in this country and who's not. States do not get to decide that, and that was a major issue back when Texas was trying to remove people because they can't. They're not allowed to. As much as I would love for Texas to start deporting people, they're not allowed to. So with that, you have that same argument where it's like, oh, they're not allowed to deport people because they don't have the authority. But now you have states and counties and cities trying to block the federal government from enacting deportation when that's their authority. They have the sole authority to do that. And then federal judges trying to block the use of the military. The commander-in-chief has full authority over the military. You cannot tell Donald Trump what to do with the military. He's the commander-in-chief. And if someone can override Donald Trump's decision on what to do with the military, he's no longer the commander-in-chief. He's no longer the chief of the military. So this is insane. I just saw a story that the SCOTUS said Trump can't use CA National Guard in Portland. Yeah, but so what does that leave us with then, Boosh? Do we just send in the actual military? Like, oh, all right, National Guard's not working. Let's just send in the Marines. Send in the Marines. Screw it. Whatever. Insurrection. Sorry, my inner AOC came out. I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like an insurrection. Most retarded civil war ever. Could just not mutilate kids. That'd be cool. Could not be dumbass commies and corrupt POSs. But no, we aren't allowed to have nice things here. Look, we live in two different worlds at this point. We live in two completely different worlds. Melted, you can't say that. You cannot say that. That's not going to repeat that. But we have other stories. Let's see. This is another one that's a part of this. Let's see. Pull this one up. ICE director says that Portland facility faces violence with little help from local police. Federal agencies target Antifa-linked groups as Trump announces 200 National Guards for Portland. And then I don't know what this video is. Don't care. Federal immigration officials said that their Portland, Oregon facility has come under nightly attacks with little help from local police because of political directives from city leaders. In an exclusive interview with Fox News' Bill Mulligan, Kamala Wamsley, director of Portland's ICE office, said that the facility has faced violence for more than 100 consecutive nights, with Portland police largely absent under guidance from the mayoral and city council. It's frustrating for us to watch people be attacked on the streets and know that we don't have the authority to be able to really step in unless there's some nexus of federal law. She said that nightly protests have escalated beyond chants and signs, with bottle rockets striking the ICE building, rocks shattering windows, lasers targeting officers' eyes, and barricades blocking vehicles. They're actively attacking this place. This place is under siege. Wamsley said protesters have followed ICE staff members home and doxed at least 6 employees. Yeah, and that's exactly why they wear masks. That is exactly why they wear masks, because these people are actively trying to dox them and where they live. Later, towards the evening and around dark, there are a lot of folks that come up dressed in all black. They do that on purpose to obfuscate who they are and make it easier to commit crimes without repercussion. That's why they wear all black. That's why they cover their faces. It's a little easier to tell who they are when they're a massive tubs of lard, but when you have a bunch of twigs walking around, it's hard to tell which twig is swinging. They are here to wreak havoc. They'll block our cars, throw paint, damage property, and even try to follow our folks home. She warned that when crowds swell quickly, the violence becomes more dangerous. We've seen it before. The folks here can go from a crowd of 50 to a crowd of 1,000 in about 30 minutes. Sometimes we only have 20 officers here. We would not be able to defend the building with that show of force. Wamsley said the Portland Police Department has been slow to respond and sometimes doesn't respond at all because of its city policy. She explained that assaults have occurred outside and across the street from the building, but police have either taken too long to arrive or not shown up at all. That is not the stance they would take 6 blocks from here, but it is the stance that they would take with us because of guidance from the mayor and the city council. That's ridiculous, and that's absolutely intentional. if the police aren't showing up to handle this crowd of people, they're doing it intentionally because of the local politics and because these local police are in favor of what's going on here at the end of the day. Because if these police weren't in favor, they'd show up and handle this. But when they're showing up late or not at all, it's to allow time for these people to get away and not face repercussions. Fox News Digital has reached out to Portland mayor's office and police department for comment. Still, Wamsley said staff remain committed to their mission despite the unrest. The people that work here are here to serve the American public. They are here to enforce the same immigration laws we've had in place since the 1950s. Nothing has changed in that regard. We come to work every day. We do our jobs the way that we have been doing it, and we'll continue to do that. Todd Rignall, Assistant Special Agent of Homeland Security Investigations in Oregon, said federal agencies are targeting Antifa-linked groups they blame for organizing much of the unrest. They're not just facing HSI, they're facing the FBI, ATF, DEA, IRS, all of these agencies. That's a force to be reckoned with. Portland remains a flashpoint for unrest with the ICE facility at the center of nightly confrontations. President Trump announced plans to send 200 National Guards to Portland to support immigration authorities. Officials said the troops would be stationed near protest areas. And then it wants us to download the Fox News app. But like you guys were saying in the chat, it looks like these are being blocked. So here, let me see if I could find an article on that real quick. Let's go. Let's see. National Guard. Portland blocked. What are you guys saying in the chat in the meantime? In Minecraft melted. Yeah, in Minecraft melted. You're supposed to say in Minecraft. It wasn't SCOTUS. It was a lower federal judge, of course, but I agree with you. It's dumb. Look, if these federal judges don't have that authority, they don't have the authority to do that. The federal judges don't have the authority to dictate what he does with the military. It is long past time to ignore these judges. If it doesn't come directly from the Supreme Court, it should be treated with a grain of salt, and then you should continue anyway. Trump should continue with his plan. Screw these federal judges. I don't think their opinion matters very much, if at all. Let's see. So we have this from the Guardian. Guardian says that a judge blocks deployment of National Guard to Oregon as Newsom vows to sue. California governor says president attacking rule of law as Trump appointed judge rules twice to stop use of military. I like how they say that it's a Trump appointed judge, as if that matters. It's the same thing with the Joe Biden appointed judges, right? Like, I don't care if it's a Joe Biden judge. I honestly don't care if it's a Trump judge. What I care about is if they're upholding the law and if they're actually benefiting the country as a whole. Because you could be a Trump appointed judge all you want, but if you side with the Democrats and side with or if you side against the rule of law, then I don't care. I really don't. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deploying any National Guard units to Oregon a few hours after the California governor, Gavin Newsom, announced that he would be suing the president over the planned deployment of his state troops. Well, sucks to suck. He can federalize the troops. You don't have authority over that. And this federal judge blocking the deployment of National Guard, no, you don't have the authority to do that either. So you can say that the Trump administration's blocked, but I say the Trump administration just ignore you, and possibly, you just go in and arrest these judges. If you have to impeach them first, maybe we can look into that, but I highly doubt the local politics are going to allow for these judges to be impeached, right? And yes, Bukele was talking about what has to happen with these judges. Bukele came out in a statement, and he was addressing everyone. I think it was like one of his state of addresses, and he said that it's come time for the United States to arrest and impeach these judges. But if the judges cannot be impeached because of the local politics, then I say you go in and arrest all of them. You go arrest all of them. If the mayor and his cabinet are actively defying federal law and actively ruling against law and order, and then these judges are backing those decisions, the only solution is to go in and clean house. The only solution is to go in and arrest all of them. And especially, we're going to get into the Chicago mayor's comments here soon, because he literally said that the right-wing party wants a rematch of the Civil War. They're actively saying that we want a Civil War. Nice. Hell yeah, our sergeant, what's up? Do these effing idiots understand that by creating executive orders and legal injunctions to stop the enforcement of federal law, they are in fact committing insurrection? Nail on the head, right there. When you defy the federal government in this way, I mean, sanctuary cities, for example. Sanctuary cities are not legal the states, cities, counties, whatever, do not have the jurisdiction to sit there and make laws that actively defy the federal government. More arrest, more arrest, more arrest. Exactly, Dr. Banks. And thank you, our sergeant, for the rumble rant. I appreciate it, man. And like I said, he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. It has come time to defy these judges, to defy these politicians. We need to unapologetically enforce the rule of law. It has come time to ignore these judges, ignore these local politicians. We need to send troops in and restore law and order. It's come time. We're long past this. If we don't go in and do this now, they will make the last 8 years look like a walk in the park. If we allow them to take back the midterms, if we allow them to take back the presidency, the last 8 years will look like a goddamn walk in the park, and we will not be ready for what is to come. We need to step in, and we need to step up. It's come time. Both while we have the levers of power, we need to use them. Trump needs to use the levers of power so long as he is at the control of them. Because if he doesn't use them now, the Democrats will use them when they get in, and they will use them with the full force against us. Let's see. The ruling by U.S. District Judge Karen Emmergut said that there was no evidence that recent protests necessitated the presence of National Guard troops, no matter where they came from. Emmergut asked a Trump administration lawyer during a hearing on Sunday night, how could bringing in federalized National Guard from California not be in direct contravention of the decision I issued yesterday? I don't give a shit about your decision yesterday. I don't give a shit about your decision yesterday, because you're sitting in a courtroom saying, well, I don't think it's necessary for the National Guard to come in. Meanwhile, the local police department is literally doing nothing. They're not arresting these protesters. They're not having a presence in these areas. They're leaving the federal officers to fend for themselves. What are they doing to stop people from being followed home? Like, this is... are we civil warring yet? I've been saying this all weekend. We are in an open civil war. This is I don't even think you can call it a cold civil war anymore. We are absolutely past the point of civil strife. Excuse me. Stephen Crowder pointed this out, and he's not the only one. We haven't gone more than 48, 72 hours without a major terrorist attack. We haven't gone more than 2 to 3 days without a major, massive news story and terrorist attack that is politically polarizing. At what point do we call it a civil war? At what point do we call it a civil war? Every 2 to 3 days, there is another massive attack on some place, somewhere, or a massive political story that divides us. I mean, we have the story in West Virginia that I need to pull up about that guy calling for the death of his opponent. He literally calling for the death of his opponent and cheering on the death of his kids and wife. This is active rebellion. This is an act of rebellion, and it needs to be quelled before it's too late. What is it? What do you call it when one side refuses to fight against another side that is unyielding in their fight? What do you call it when one side stands there and says, hold on, let's have civil conversation, while the other side says, screw you, you need to die, and actively acts on it? Well, that's called a revolution. So we have one or two outcomes here. Either we allow a revolution by the Democrats, or we enact a civil war and fight back. Those are our options. Those are literally our options. Either we allow a revolution by the Democrats, or we enact a civil war and quell this. Because that's what they want. They're actively saying it. Even the Chicago mayor is actively saying it. The ruling by U.S. District Judge, I already read that one. Emmergut's ruling on Sunday, which will remain in effect until at least the 19th of October, blocks the Trump administration from sending any National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon, and California to seek a longer-term ruling in court. Earlier on Sunday, Newsom said the National Guard troops were already on their way to Oregon. The Trump administration is unapologetically attacking the rule of law itself and putting into action their dangerous words, ignoring court orders, and treating judges, even those appointed by the president himself, as political opponents. Because they are being political opponents. They're no longer being politically neutral. They're no longer partisan. They are partisan. This is not bipartisan. They are not making neutral decisions anymore. They are political opponents, whether appointed by Trump or not. And they'll sit there and say, "Oh, but Trump appointed this judge." I don't care. Neither does Trump. And the judge doesn't care that she was appointed by Trump either. She's not holding up the rule of law. And it's funny that you have Gavin Newsom attacking Donald Trump, saying that we're attacking the rule of law itself. Well, what do you call it when you actively defy the federal government and defy federal law? Well, you're attacking the rule of law. So who's really attacking the rule of law here? The president, who's actively trying to send in law enforcement officers to quell violence and enforce the law, or the people trying to block that? Who's attacking the rule of law? The people trying to enforce the rule of law, or the people trying to prevent it? Well, I would say the people trying to prevent the rule of law are the ones attacking it. But I don't know. That's just me, I guess. Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell announced the deployment on Sunday. At the direction of the president, approximately 200 federalized members of the California National Guard will be reassigned from duty in the greater Los Angeles area to Portland, in Oregon, to support U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and other federal personnel offering official duties, including the enforcement of federal law and to protect federal property. Caroline Turco, Portland's senior deputy attorney, said that there had been, Portland's senior deputy attorney said that there had been no violence against ICE officers for months, and that recent ICE protests were sedate, sometimes featuring fewer than a dozen protesters, and the week before the president declared the city to be a war zone. Well, that's just an outright lie. We have all the videos from over the weekend. We have this video from Nick Sorter. This is not dozens of people. Just in this small area. Look, I mean, look, there's not a lot of people behind him, right? And then the moment all this shit breaks out, now all these people surround him. Yeah, definitely doesn't look violent to me, as they all cheer it on. Doesn't look violent to me, right, guys? Look at all these people. All these people, just in this small area. This isn't even directly in front of the ICE facility. This is like down the street. But yeah, no, there's no violence, right? We need to arrest these people. It is way past time to start arresting these people. They're actively lying to obfuscate and to defend their side and protect their side because they're in favor of this. This isn't about public safety. It's about power. We will take this fight to court, but the public cannot stay silent in the face of such reckless and authoritarian conduct by the President of the United States. This is not authoritarian. It's not authoritarian. And even if it was, I'm in favor of it at this point. If we need authoritarianism to quell the violence and to expel the people that no longer need to be in government and in this country, so be it. Joey's talked about this, but it seems like we're at the point now where we need an overcorrection. We need an overcorrection to shift the Overton window, because without an overcorrection at this point, I don't think there's any hope. In a statement on X, Oregon attorney Dan Rayfield, this is Oregon's attorney general, said that the state was quickly assessing our options and preparing to take legal action. The president is obviously hell-bent on deploying the military in American cities. Absent facts or authority to do so, it is up to us and the courts to hold him accountable. That's what we intend to do. He has the full authority to do that. When a city, when a county, when a state refuses to uphold law and is so deeply rotted inside and out that they will not enforce the law and actively defy the federal government, Donald Trump has a duty to go and quell that. When a state or county or city is in active rebellion against federal law and the federal government, the federal government has a duty, has an obligation to go and correct that. That's what they're there for. Now, who corrects the federal government? Well, us as the American population is supposed to do that. Doesn't always work out. But right now, we have Trump in office, and we need him to use his authority and use his ability to root out this corruption in every state. In every state. In a statement on X, Oregon's Attorney General, we already read that one. The California National Guard referred questions to the Defense Department. A department spokesperson declined to comment. Let's see. A response from the White House Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson read that President Trump exercised his lawful authority to protect federal assets and personnel in Portland following violent riots and attack on law enforcement. For one, Gavin Newsom should stand on the side of law-abiding citizens instead of violent criminals destroying Portland and cities across the country. See, that's the thing, right? They'll sit there and say, oh, but there's only a few dozen people, and they're not even that violent, if they're even violent at all. And they'll say that, And then people will take those comments and say, look, there's no violence. You don't need to send in the National Guard because there's no violence. Meanwhile, people are getting doxxed. They're getting followed home. They're trying to have their identities exposed. And then they're actively being attacked. They're being attacked. The federal building is being sieged upon. These cities do not own these federal buildings. Federal buildings are owned by who? The federal government. So if the local police department is not defending these federal buildings, the federal government has to step in and use all available resources to defend it. Is China sending ops in to help with the leftist cultists, do you think? I wouldn't doubt it. I certainly wouldn't doubt it. Trump had first announced his plan on the 27th of September, saying that he was authorizing full force if necessary, despite pleas from Oregon officials and the state congressional delegation, who said that there had been a single uneventful protest outside one federal immigration enforcement office. They're outright lying. They are obviously lying. The videos do not lie. The videos do not lie. This is not one night of uneventful protest. This is a over 100-day siege of a federal building trying to enforce federal law. Let's see. Is there any more I should read here? We're almost done here. It says, during his first term in 2020, he deployed federal forces to the city amid the protest over the murder by police of George Floyd in Minneapolis. The protests spread across the U.S., but were especially heightened in Portland. Despite protests against ICE being relatively small in the state this year, Trump has used them as a justification to deploy troops. Speaking on X about the latest move from Trump, Newsom said, it's appalling, it's un-American, and it must be stopped. Well, what is he supposed to do when local authorities and the state won't help him? What is the federal government to do when the local authorities will not help and they refuse to help? When they refuse to uphold federal law, what do you expect Donald Trump to do? It's a genuine question. What do you expect Donald Trump to do when federal law is no longer being upheld? It's a general question, just a genuine question. I mean, what else do you call it? What else do you call it? Let's see. We have a lot of news to get into today. Let's see, what are you guys saying in the chat? How can the government stop the media from making slanderous claims like that? You can't say the police murdered GF, he died, or George Floyd, he died of a drug overdose. At most, negligence. Yeah, I don't know, because there's a fine line between freedom of speech and outright slander. And slander and libel. So like, I don't know if it's, see, I don't know where you go with that, because I love free speech and I want people to be able to say things even if they're wrong. But what do you do when that's a good question. What do you do when you have people actively lying intentionally to obfuscate the truth? And the argument would be you combat it with more speech, but that's difficult, especially when a lot of people will just trust the first thing they hear, and then when they hear something contrary, they just don't believe it. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Trump is using the word insurrection a lot lately. This is an insurrection. This is outright rebellion against the federal government. That's just what it is. Call it what it is, right? Let's see. There was a specific story. Oh, wait. Did I send it? Maybe I sent it to myself on X. This was absolutely insane. I had to have sent it on X, right? No? Oh, God. There was a weird comment by Ted Cruz. We're not going to talk about that, though, because that was retarded. Yeah. Here it is. Okay, so I have the video. This is not the video that was... are involved in the ramming can be found here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Community Notes. So Community Notes actually corrected something. So actively looking. Let's see. We're actively looking to verify the video of the incident and obtain permission to use them. However, that is not the vehicle the woman shot was driving. So here, I gotta find the video for that then. Let's see. DHS vehicle. So there was a DHS vehicle that got rammed into and shot at, and then the local authorities didn't really do anything about it. Let's see, NBC Chicago. Okay, All right, we have the article here. Let's do an ad read real quick before we get into the next story, since we have a little pause here. Let's see. We'll do a Rumble Premium ad. Oh wait, I gotta get the link. 1 second. 1 second. Oof, it's getting hot in my room too. Oh no, the URL, it's not there. Post. Okay. Let's do the Rumble Premium ad. All right. So you've probably noticed that Rumble's growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech, and that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. There's also Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. So go ahead and check out Rumble Premium. If you don't have that already, check it out. Make sure you check it out. All right. So this story is from Chicago, which I wanted to start talking about Chicago. So let's see. Go over to here. All right, so we're going to start talking about Chicago now. So we have this from, what is this, NBC Chicago? Yeah, I think it's NBC5 Chicago. So a woman shot by agents in Brighton Park after ramming DHS vehicle, according to authorities. Is this the video? So this is a video after the fact, I think. No audio? There's no audio, okay. So this looks like this is a video after the fact, possibly. Yes. Okay, so protest against immigration and customs enforcement actively took place in Chicago's Brighton Park neighborhood on Saturday, near where authorities said an armed woman was shot by agents after she rammed one of their vehicles. The shooting was reported at around 10:30 a.m. near the intersection of 39th Street and South Kedzie Avenue. DHS Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin said that agents were conducting routine patrols on Saturday morning when they were rammed by 10 cars and boxed in. McLaughlin said one of the drivers who rammed a law enforcement vehicle was armed with a semi-automatic weapon, and agents were forced to deploy their weapons and fire defensive shots. The woman, according to the DHS Assistant Secretary, drove herself to the hospital for treatment. No law enforcement officers were injured. Unfortunately, J.B. Pritzker's Chicago Police Department is leaving the shooting scene and refuses to assist us in securing the area. The Assistant Secretary said, in part following the shooting, that there is a crowd growing and we are deploying special operations to control a growing crowd. McLaughlin went on to say that said woman, who hasn't been identified, was named in a CBP intelligence bulletin last week for doxing agents and posting online, "Hey to all my gang, let's F those MFers up and don't let them take anyone." So she's actively saying, let's go F them up. DHS, she was anyway, and then apparently she tried to. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem posted about the shooting on social media, saying that she was deploying more special operations to control the scene. Today in Chicago, members of our brave law enforcement were attacked, rammed, and boxed in by 10 vehicles, including an attacker with a semi-automatic weapon. Let's see. I am deploying more special operations to control the scene. Reinforcements are on their way. The Chicago Police Department said it responded to document the incident, and officers were present to maintain safety and traffic control for residents. CPD, Chicago Police Department, is not involved in the incident or its investigation. Federal authorities are investigating the shooting. Okay, well, I feel like they should be involved if asked to. Hopefully hopefully this isn't another Portland situation where they're being told to stand down. Oh, wait a minute. That's the next story. In the hours following the shooting, both law enforcement actively broke out. Activity and protests took place nearby. As shown on video, NBC Chicago Sky 5 helicopter captured video of law enforcement members, some of whom were carrying long guns, in the parking lot of an auto business near Southwest Avenue and the West 35th Street. Footage posted on the Citizen app from the shooting scene showed ICE agents positioned in a line behind the crime scene tape as protesters delivered chants including "Don't take the bait" and "ICE go home."
As Operation Midway Blitz continues in Chicago, we are getting more videos of federal agents around the city, including
concrete. You can see this group has been here for about an hour. We've seen peaceful demonstrating this morning. They're holding signs, sometimes yelling as federal agents drive into that driveway. Moments ago,
they're peaceful only during the day. Most of the time, anyway. Protests have occurred in recent days as part of the immigration enforcement effort called Operation Midway Blitz, which has seen more than 1,000 arrests since the inception on September 8th. While demonstrations have taken place in Chicago, including the downtown area, they have primarily been centered around an ICE processing center in West suburban Broadview. 5 protesters have been arrested on Friday following a demonstration on both sides of the processing center, including in a new designated protest area more than a block away from the building. NBC Chicago reporters and photographers have witnessed tensions rise between agents and protesters. Escalating clashes between demonstrators and armed personnel have occurred at the site, with video capturing federal agents deploying their tear gas. Protests continued outside the suburban facility on Saturday, and as of 2 p.m., no arrest had been made, authorities said. Did they arrest this woman that went to the hospital? Did they arrest the woman that went to the hospital? And as you can see, so this looks like the area. I don't know which vehicles are involved here, but you can see. So you can see law enforcement down here. I don't know which vehicle was involved in the being boxed in though. Interesting. I do have a video that might be a part of what's going on, but I don't want to share it because I can't confirm it. So I'm not gonna. I don't want to share false information if I can't confirm it. I mean, just boxing them in could qualify for deadly force. I just wondered if she got a shot off. She did. She started shooting, and she missed. She just missed all her shots. Don't think she got a shot. She did. She did shoot, but she didn't hit anybody. And that's why they returned fire, and that's why she was struck. All of that is irrelevant. If you intentionally ram a car with your car, that can be defined as assault with a deadly weapon because your car becomes a weapon. Absolutely. If she actively hit them with her car, it is no longer a matter if she has a gun or her on her or not. I agree. I absolutely agree. Because while you're ramming someone with your car, there's a lot of, I mean, depending on where you are, that could you can ram people into the gas station that's right here. That could cause a lot of issues. There's a lot of things that could happen. What if you roll the car over and injure the people inside? Lots of stuff. There's lots of stuff. So you're absolutely right, Son of Wiggum. Haha, liberals. Yeah, seriously. And then you have this from the Post-Millennial, because I referenced this. Well, we might as well talk about this. Chicago police ordered to stand down as ICE agents were surrounded by agitators. They were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd and that they were requesting the police and that they were not sending them. Chicago police officers were ordered to withdraw from the scene of a violent confrontation involving federal agents on Saturday after an immigration customs enforcement operation in the city turned chaotic. According to CWB Chicago, the incident began around 10:30 a.m. when a woman called 911, reporting that an ICE agent had shot her in the 3900 block of South Kedzie Avenue. Chicago officers initially responded, but federal agents on scene said that the woman was armed and part of a caravan attempting to obstruct ICE operations. Wait, how ridiculous is that? You and a bunch of people gang up on a DHS vehicle and you ram them, open fire on them, they return fire, you get shot, and you call 911. Gotta call 911. Hello, 911. ICE agent just shot me. Oh, why did he shoot you? He just shot you for no reason? Ridiculous. The woman, identified by the Department of Homeland Security as a 32-year-old Marimar Martinez, suffered gunshot wounds to her leg, arm, and chest, and was transported to Mount Sinai Hospital. She was armed with a semi-automatic weapon and has a history of doxing federal agents. The agency added that she took defensive fire from CBP agents and has since been released from the hospital and taken into FBI custody. DHS also confirmed that another suspect, Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz, was arrested after allegedly ramming a federal vehicle during the confrontation. As our ICE law enforcement was responding to the shooting, a domestic terrorist followed them and rammed their vehicle in an attempt to run them off the road. This individual has been arrested and is in HSI custody. Video circulating online reportedly shows a SUV ramming the rear of an unmarked Border Patrol pickup truck as both vehicles traveled down Kedzie Avenue. The truck's emergency lights were on and the SUV struck its bumper before forcing the pickup into a curb. An agent exited the truck and appeared to draw a firearm while a second federal vehicle arrived and rammed the SUV from behind. It is unclear whether the footage is directly connected to the shooting incident or a separate encounter that occurred around the same time. Radio transmission from Chicago Police Department appeared to indicate that the CPD Chief of Patrol John Hein ordered officers to leave the area following the confrontation. At about 11:30 a.m., a Chicago Police Department supervisor in the Deering 9th District instructed dispatchers to clear up all the city's police units from the shooting investigation and turn the scene over to federal authorities. The CWB Chicago reported that the supervisor said that the order was per the chief. Later on, federal agents asked Chicago Police Department for assistance. Units initially responded, but under supervisor orders, stopped a couple blocks short of where the agents were surrounded. Roughly 5 minutes later, they were told to leave. Just to confirm, a dispatcher asked, they were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd and that they were requesting the police and were not sending. Again, those are the orders we're being given. The supervisor responded. That's absolutely ridiculous. So these people are getting rammed, shot at, and surrounded by agitators, and then the local police, some of them are requested to show up. They're on their way, and then they get told, nope, never mind, don't show up, don't do it. That's just absolutely ridiculous. At what point do you call this a civil war, guys? At what point, when all these cities are in active rebellion against the federal government, do you sit there and say, this is an insurrection? This is an act of rebellion against the federal government. This is crazy. Bro, the cop was just losing his ish. Like, wait, what? It's ridiculous. Y'all remember the episode of Cops when that lady called police because her drug dealer ripped her off when she was trying to buy some cocaine? I've heard that story, yeah. In my opinion, that police chief should now be brought up on charges. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I understand turning over the investigation to federal authorities, but if federal authorities request your assistance in something, you're supposed to comply. Like, they're supposed to comply with federal authorities. The federal authorities take precedent, sure, but you shouldn't outright deny them help. That's not how this works. What else are you guys saying? Crowder just talked about this today, too. They had the police radio calls telling the cops to avoid the areas. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is the find out time. The federal crimes, time to find out. Yeah. FCFO. Federal crimes, find out. Federal crimes, you find out. That's the deal. That's the deal being made here. Federal crimes, and you find out. Let's see. I think that... So they did describe the video that I was talking about. So I guess that is the actual video. Let me see if I could find that real quick. I had just had that. Let's see. Did I share that to myself? I did share that to myself. Okay, let's. I want to share this video. So this is allegedly, this is the video that is going on here. This is how it started. I don't know what's up with the music. Let me mute this. So you can see they start ramming them, start pushing them down the street. Question: where did they get these all black SUVs? Where did they get these all black SUVs? Like, what is that one? Is that federal authorities or what is that? I can't even tell which vehicle's which. So I think this might be a separate incident. It's hard to tell. And then here they are. So this might be a separate incident, but this is still Chicago. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is what Donald Trump means by this is a war zone. This is absolutely a war zone. The second one is a Fed car, according to that article. Yeah, but it said that they got surrounded by 10 vehicles, so I don't know if that's the right article or not. But again, another incident. This video is likely from a separate call where a black Tahoe ran agents off the road yesterday in the same area. So yeah, so two incidents in the same day. So two incidents in the same day, because there's a community note here saying that this video was from a separate call where a black Tahoe ran agents off the road yesterday in the same area. So what this clearly sounds like a planned attack. It sounds like one went as planned. They had 10 cars surround an agent and opened fire on them. And then this other one seems like, I don't know, I guess they didn't have backup on this one, but they again attacked another federal agent car. Two incidents in the same day. That's why it's confusing. There's two incidents in the same day. Active rebellion, active insurrection, and then they'll sit there and say, "Oh well, we don't need the National Guard to come in because everything's peaceful, man. Everything's peaceful. You don't need to send the National Guard when everything's peaceful." How is this peaceful when they're getting ran off the road? And again, the car that was ramming the back of that the back of the truck, where are they getting these massive SUVs that are all blacked out? Who's giving them these vehicles? Because I don't think the average person, you know, no matter how radical you are, especially these lefties, they don't have money like that. And even if they do, they're not gonna jeopardize whatever cushy job they have to go and ram a DHS officer. So who's providing these vehicles to these people? Who's providing the resources? Who's providing the intel of where to find these agents? Like there seems to be a larger network here. Where's the money coming from? Exactly. Where's the money coming from? In one of the stories, the person driving one of the SUVs that got shot is a known Antifa activist that actively doxes ICE agents. Yeah, that's what the Post Millennial was reporting. So that wasn't the video that I just showed. The video I just showed is a separate incident. Yeah, the ICE guys are going to have to start offing people if they are going to be able to continue to do their jobs, and the cops are not going to help, and the National Guard can't help. Well, you know, son of Wiggum, I don't advocate for violence, but I'm with Steven Crowder. I advocate for rigorous and ruthless self-defense. These officers, the moment they start getting rammed like this, and it's very clear that it's intentional, yes, defend yourself by any means necessary. Genuinely, any means necessary, defend yourself. Everyone should. They can crowdsource intel with modern comm apps. That's true. All of this is absurd, but they won't have that choice anymore. That's been happening for ages. I saw it on X this weekend. Yeah, X was popping off this weekend because there's just so much going on. It's absolutely insane the amount of violence that we saw over the weekend. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And then let's go find some other articles. Let's go pull up the New York Post. What is New York Post talking about today? We'll cover a few more articles. Let's see. I wanted to cover the Chicago mayor, of course. Chicago mayor, let's see. Where is that video? Okay, this one. All right. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson just announced he signed an executive order creating ICE-free zones to ban ICE agents from city property. This is sick. He is aiding and abetting criminal illegal immigrant killers, rapists, traffickers, and gangbangers. Not just that, but he also said that the right wing wants a rematch of the Civil War.
Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids. And today, we are signing an executive order.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You don't have the authority to do that. You do not have the authority to do that. He's actively breaking the law, and he should be arrested. Unironically, he should be arrested. The Chicago mayor should be arrested for insurrection. Absolutely. Let's see. What else did he say? I had other video of him. Where is it? No, not that one. There was another video. Oh, here it is. Have this from Libs of TikTok. Thank you, Libs of TikTok. You also have this from the Chicago mayor.
I said very candidly that the right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War.
No, we don't. No, we don't. You do. You people do. We don't. The right isn't getting violent. Did any businesses have to board up after Charlie Kirk was literally fucking assassinated? Did any businesses have to board up and be concerned about riots and dangerous agitators? No. The only thing they had to worry about was people coming to the memorial sites and vandalizing them. So we get literally attacked. We get one of the figureheads of our movement assassinated, and we don't riot. We don't even march in the street. We don't do any of that. We have peaceful memorials that we then have to defend from these people further. We are not the same. We are not the same. One side wants the civil war, and we on the right are actively saying, please, for the love of God, don't make us do this. Do not make us do this. And a lot of us are at that point where it's time. It really is time, because they are actively waging one against us.
I want that to sit in right now, because the President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago and people across America. That's right. He's more interested in giving billions of dollars to other nations.
Yeah, what people? What people is he waging a war against? Oh, you mean the criminals? Oh, you mean the illegal immigrants that you guys aren't handling? You're actively defying law and order, and then you want to sit there and say that he's the one not for law and order? It's just ironic. Hypocritical.
While farmers in urban cities around this country are literally being destabilized. And so...
Why are they being destabilized? Oh, is it because they're employing illegals?
Whether it's the legal system, whether it's through executive order, or whether it's through the brave women and men who are serving as rapid responders. We literally have people who are volunteering in this city, on the southwest side, the northwest side, all over this city, to make sure that we're protecting children from being separated from their families.
I absolutely hate that talking point from Democrats. We're not separating anyone from their children. The parents get to make that choice. If the parents choose to allow their child to stay in the United States, that's not our fault. That's absolutely not our fault. They need to go home. No more of these anchor baby shit. They need to go home. Now, if they choose to allow their child to stay here, I don't recommend that. I do not want your child in our federal, what is it? I don't want them in the adoption system. I don't want them in the foster care system. I don't want them in any of those systems. I'd rather them go with their freaking family. But that's up to the family. That's entirely up to the family's decision. If they choose to hide their children and then they get picked up by ICE, it is not incumbent upon ICE to go and find their children and send them with them. That's entirely their fault.
And we're talking about volunteers who are literally putting them...
Volunteers that aren't citizens, I assume, the way he's talking.
...themselves at risk of being shot and killed by the federal government. And so whether it's the legal system...
If you attack federal agents with a car or another deadly weapon, you should be shot. So yes, you should fear being shot because you are actively attacking these agents. If you're not attacking these agents, you have nothing to fear.
Whether it's our continuous struggle for liberation through organizing, and whether it's through executive action, or whether it's through law, it would be nice if we actually had lawmakers in Washington that would actually hold this president accountable. And if they won't do it, then the city of Chicago will, using every single tool that's available to us.
Yeah, except you don't have those tools available to you, do you, you dumbass? Absolutely, that this is an insurrection. This is an act of rebellion against the United States government. And at what point do we sit here and say that these people need to be arrested? These people absolutely need to be arrested. Chicago mayor. Let's see. What other articles? I feel like there was more to talk about with him. Let's see. Yeah, so the ICE-free zone, they don't have the authority to do that. They do not have the authority to do that. Let's see. And then the Texas National Guard is being sent to Illinois, I believe. So here, let me see if I can pull that story up. This National Guard. Oh wait, here. I should just pull up the thing from here. That'll be funnier. Let's do that. Let's go to Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott. Where is Greg Abbott? Wait. I don't see the. Okay, is this Greg Abbott? There we go. Okay, let's go down here, pull this back up. All right, so you have this from J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois. This evening, President Trump is ordering 400 members of the Texas National Guard for deployment to Illinois, Oregon, and other locations within the United States. No officials from the federal government called me directly to discuss or coordinate. I highly doubt that. That's just BS. That's a lie. And we know that's a lie because you've made repeated statements defying the president. We must now start calling this what it is: Trump's invasion. Look at the rhetoric that they share, guys. This is the rhetoric that they share, and then they want to sit there and say that we want the civil war. We don't want a civil war, but you're saying that the federal government is invading your state. We're not invading your state. We're coming to enforce the laws that you won't. It started with federal agents. It will soon include deploying federalized members of the Illinois National Guard against our wishes, and it will now involve sending in another state's military troops. I call on Governor Abbott to immediately withdraw any support for this decision and refuse to coordinate. There is no reason a president should send military troops into a sovereign state without their knowledge, consent, or cooperation. You had knowledge of this. You know what's going on there. The law is not being upheld. You know this. You're just being willfully ignorant. Or playing ignorant, I should say. You're playing dumb. No, he does not need your consent. Your consent has nothing to do with this. Federal law overrules anything that you have to say. If you're not upholding your state's law, the federal government is allowed to come in and step in and enforce those laws. That's absolute. We don't need your consent for that. Nor do we need your cooperation. Your cooperation would be appreciated, but if you're not going to cooperate, they need to go in anyway. The brave men and women who serve in our National Guard must not be used as political props. They're not being used as political props. They're going in to enforce laws that you won't. This is a moment where every American must speak up and help stop this madness. Why would they discuss this with you so you can obstruct? Yeah, exactly. So you can obstruct. They're not going to sit there and make plans with you, dude, while you sit there and say you're actively going to defy them every step of the way. Why would they discuss their plans with you if you're actively going against them? Oh, Governor Abbott, won't you please think of the children? Well, this is what Governor Abbott had to say. Let's see. I fully authorize the president to call up 400 members of the Texas National Guard to ensure safety for federal officials. You can either fully enforce protection for federal employees or get out of the way and let Texas Guard do it. No guard can match the training, skill, and expertise of the Texas National Guard. They defend our country with pride. America must also now know that Texas still has thousands of National Guard assisting with border security. Yeah, this is not going to go well. What is this? The president can deploy the National Guard to suppress insurrections, rebellions, or to enforce federal law if a state is unable or unwilling to maintain order. Look at this Insurrection Act. Literally in the Insurrection Act that the Democrats have been referencing. How long they were referencing it the last 4 years because of January 6th. Oh, what's this? Insurrection Act 10 USC Code 25 through 251 to 255. What is this? The president can deploy the National Guard to suppress insurrections, rebellions, or to enforce federal laws if a state is unable or unwilling to maintain order. Yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes. That is the duty. That is within the authority of the federal government to go and make sure that you are upholding the laws as they're written. And if you're not going to do so, get the hell out of our way. They'll make sure it gets done. If you don't want to do it, they will. That's how it goes. You guys saying in the chat, thank God for conservative states. Yeah, seriously. I brought Compliant Mag specifically if I have to go to Chicago. Well, there you go. Yeah, if you're gonna go to any of these blue states, any of these blue cities, be careful. Always avoid a fight. If you can avoid a fight, that's you winning the fight. But if you can't avoid the fight, then ruthlessly and unapologetically defend yourself by any means necessary. Avoid the fight at all cost. But if you can't avoid the fight, win. Win the fight. That's what I say. I just got a message from somebody. What's going on here? What was I sent? What is this? Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let's move on to another story. We're gonna shift gears a little bit. I have some other stories that I want to talk about. I guess this is kind of in the same vein. This will be a funny story to talk about. Let's talk about this one. And then okay, so we're gonna do two more stories, and then I'll wrap up here. Because we've already gone over an hour. So by the time I'm done here, it'll be like it'll be closer to the next hour. So let's talk about this. Let's do we'll do that one last because that one's a little funnier. Let's do this one. Talk about this story. So we're shifting gears a little bit. Guys. Let's talk about this. If you threaten my life, you forfeit the right to yours. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel, Boosh. If my life comes under threat and it's your doing, you have forfeited your own life. That's exactly right. I have always said that. Don't screw around, there won't be none, you know? Don't make none, there won't be none. That's FO, right? It's just another way to say FO. F around, you find out. Don't make shit happen, shit won't happen to you. That's just how it goes. That's how it should go. And these people have gone far too long with getting shit on us, getting attacking us, doing all these different things, making it harder and harder for us to speak out publicly, making it harder and harder for us to go to campuses, universities, man on the street, all these different things without getting attacked. These people have shown that they're not capable of civil conversation. How many times have you seen a Democrat? How many times has Don Lemon been attacked on the street? Has anyone ever attacked Don Lemon as he does his man on the street stuff? How many times have they, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name right now. There's so many different man on the street people I like to watch. But there's been so many times where these people get attacked because they can't handle opposing opinions. I'm sick of it. They need to understand that this isn't a game and that they either have a civil conversation or they have no conversation at all. Let's see. It's good to consider where that line is so you know when it is crossed. The way I understand rights from the foundation is that my rights stop where your right starts. Your rights stop where my rights start. Laws are all based around this premise. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, right? That's what it was supposed to be, but who knows what it is now. Anyway, we're gonna like I said, we're gonna shift gears a little bit. And we're gonna move on to another topic. So we have the Civil War going on at home, right? We have the Civil War going on at home. But let's talk about wars more broadly, like the absolute powder keg that is being cooked up in Venezuela right now. We have this from the Gateway Pundit. U.S. tightens the siege around Venezuela. Military reportedly is now preparing to seize ports and airfields after Trump declares full-scale war on drug cartels and their unlawful combatants. The Caribbean is a powder keg ready to explode. In the last few days, there have been a surge in activity on the maritime siege of Venezuela and the operation against the drug cartels. The Trump administration has reportedly declared in a memo to Congress drug cartels to be unlawful combatants, further declaring the United States to be in armed conflict with them. Then, yet another alleged drug boat was destroyed on the Caribbean. So here's this one. This one was crazy. And I like some of the comments. It's like, oh, but what about the fish? Who cares about the fish? Boom! Come on, where's it at? Where's it at? Hit it. Hit it. Unclassified. Right here. Boom! Look, quit trying to come to my country and poison my fellow citizens. You come to my country. You try to get into my country unlawfully, illegally, trying to come here and poison my citizens. Ba-boom is what I say. Ba-boom. Boom, just like that. Look at that scatter shot, man. Talk about a shotgun blast from above, dude. Jesus. That is the vehicle equivalent of a 12 gauge. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Burn in holy hellfire, you pieces of shit. Anyway, a squadron of U.S. F-35s are detected flying over coastal city of Marquesha, according to the Bolivian Defense Minister, Minister Vladimir Padrino. Let's see. Reports that a squadron of F-35 attack aircraft have entered Venezuelan airspace. Maduro puts military on full alert. What the fuck are they going to do? What are they going to do? They have some F-16s or something like that, right? But those are old generation fighters. They're not going to do anything to our F-35s. They'll be lucky to get a shot.
Right now.
Assert some dominance over here, yep. We should enter their airspace, absolutely. After all these developments, multiple reports note that the Department of War has assembled a force large enough to conquer territory on Venezuelan soil. Woof. Look, man, I don't want war. I don't want war. But if war is what it takes to root out the cartels, I'm in favor of that war. I have long said that we need to back off Ukraine, Russia, let them handle their own crap. I don't care what's going on over there. Back off Israel, Palestine, back off Iran. I don't care what's going on over there. We should divert all resources to rooting out the cartels from Mexico and South America. Absolutely. This is the one war that I'm in favor of. The one war I'm in favor of is rooting out the cartels, however that looks. I don't care how it looks. Root out the cartels. If we have to sit and nation build for a little bit in Mexico and South America to prevent them from coming back, I'm fine with that. No more nation building or across the ocean. It doesn't work. What we haven't tried, though, is nation building with our neighbors. We need to nation build our neighbors. Build up our neighbors and make them stronger, and make it to where they're at a point where they don't have to worry about these cartels anymore. Still, though, war in Europe is bad, okay? War on the cartels, though, is a good thing. Yes, exactly. That's my stance. War in Europe is bad. I don't want anything to do with it. Whatever those people are doing across the pond, I don't care. I don't care what they're doing across the pond. What I do care about is my goddamn neighbor letting a bunch of poison and drugs into my country. That's what I'm worried about. Looks like off the Venezuelan coast sits a formidable armada, Navy warships, and a submarine, 10 F-35 Lightning II stealth jets, and the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit, 2,200 Marines with Harrier jump jets, helicopters, and armor. U.S. has deployed warships, fighter jets, submarines, Marines near Venezuela, suggesting it may not only be preparing to fight drug cartels, but also to seize Venezuelan ports and airfields. The leader of Venezuela is actively on our shit list. He is going to get arrested, and we have actively been trying to get his arrest, and he knows that. He actively works with multiple cartels. He uses his military to defend the cartels. We had fighter jets sent from the Venezuelan government flying over one of our carriers in a show of force, and in my opinion, they should have been shot down immediately. The moment you see them on approach, you just shoot them down. Don't even give them a chance. The Pentagon hasn't confirmed the invasion plans, but it isn't hiding its posture either. The deployment is so far beyond routine counter-drug patrols, suggesting Washington wants the option to strike deep inside tyrant Nicolas Maduro's regime if needed. So, and this comes at a time when the government is shut down, right? So the government is shut down. Who declares war? Congress. Well, if Congress isn't in office, who declares war? The president. This is an opportunity, Trump. This is your opportunity. Do it. Go for it. Do it. Do it. Do it fast. Do it hard. Daily Mail reported that the U.S. military is also mulling over how to go about striking targets linked to drug trafficking in Venezuela directly. NBC News reported last week. Further, the large buildup of servicemen in the region based out of Puerto Rico has some wondering whether troops are practicing for potential operations to seize key locations within the country. I've seen comments about that as well. There have been multiple training routines and similar to how China will prepare for their invasion on Taiwan. That's essentially what we're doing in Puerto Rico right now. We are staging invasions of Venezuela in Puerto Rico right now. It's just kind of under wraps. It's not blatant as of yet. Let's see, what is it? What is this video? Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says that the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean is aimed at Venezuelans' oil, gas, and gold reserves, which are among the largest in the world. He accuses Washington of creating Hollywood stories about narco-trafficking to cast him as the villain. Maduro insists it's all a pretext to justify U.S. intervention. Of course he's going to say that, because he's one of the head targets of what we'd be going after. There are 8 destroyer warships in the Caribbean. That's never been seen before. 1,200 missiles pointed at our heads. They have a nuclear submarine. And now they're saying that it's also in Puerto Rico. The head of the Pentagon arrived in Puerto Rico. And the governor of Puerto Rico said that Puerto Rico was the base for a military operation against Venezuela. They're after many things. They're after oil, not drug trafficking, it's oil. Yeah, sure, buddy. We're after... Look, I would not put it past the federal government to go and try and get gold, oil, and gas, all that stuff. I would not put it past them. Would you put it past them? I wouldn't. But that is not the sole reason for us going after you. We want the drugs to stop. We want the human trafficking and the drug trafficking to stop. And if you aren't going to stop it, we will. It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. We don't need to listen to everything this man says. He's just spewing propaganda for his own people. The U.S. military is also mulling over how to go about striking targets linked to drug trafficking in Venezuela directly. MC News reported last week. Further, the large buildup of servicemen in the region based out of Puerto Rico has some wondering whether troops are practicing for potential operations to seize key locations within the country, and they should. Recent military drills also took place in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Our airmen exercise their unique skill sets to parachute into contested territory, establish airfield operations, control aircraft, respond to search and rescue scenarios, manage notional medical evacuations, and conduct reconnaissance and targeting operations on a very tight timeline. An officer said of the practice operation, which occurred in late August. So yeah, we are preparing to go and strike Venezuela. I'm in favor of it. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the possible open conflict with Venezuela? Because look, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a walk in the park, but they definitely don't stand a chance against us. And if this is what it takes to root out the cartels, so be it. Send the cartels back to China. Send the cartels. Send everything back across the ocean. We should not have a land connection with terrorists and drug traffickers and human traffickers. Like they're openly doing it. We should just no connection. Root them out. Conquer them harder. Hell yeah. He would have to call on an emergency session, and all members would have to come in for a vote. The president cannot declare war, regardless of Congress being in a recess or not. So that's fair, Boosh. But what about if another country declares war on us? Like this is my question, right? Do we even need Congress to declare war? Do we even need Trump to declare a war? Because Venezuela might not be openly declaring war on us, but if they're constantly sending in drugs to come and poison our people, if they're constantly human trafficking people in and out of the United States, do we even need to declare war? I don't even know if we need to declare war at that point. What if this is Trump's newest 4D, 5D chess move? Get the Venezuelan government to give the populace guns and allow them to rise up and overthrow the government themselves. That would be hilarious. Yeah, hell yeah, Shakira is from Venezuela. I'm down. I think we also need to strike... Woof, I don't know about that, killing it. Really, they need to have some kind of agreement where all of the surrounding nations get a cut of the oil in the region, because like Bolivia and some of those other countries are going to suffer the most. The president can organize a defense if we are attacked, but we cannot go to war without congressional approval. Yeah, but I don't know. We're kind of at the point now where that doesn't really matter. Like, as much as I agree with you guys, Congress should be the one doing this and deciding this stuff, but they didn't decide Iran. Did they even decide the withdrawal from Afghanistan? I'm pretty sure that was a Biden executive order. Like, the president has been the commander-in-chief, regardless of what Congress has to say, for a very long time now. Congress moves way too slowly to enact anything, and it's much easier to have one person at the helm. So, as much as I agree with you guys, but no, we don't need to declare war at all. We haven't officially declared war since World War II. Exactly. We don't need to declare war. We can just go strike them. We can just go invade them. We don't need to declare war. You can just have military action taken upon them. That's fine. Congress can't even see the light of day outside of their posteriors. Yeah, literally. And look, the government's going to be shut down for like the next month is what's being predicted. So, is what it is. Oh, we hit the light goal. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you, guys. We hit the light goal. Well, that's a good way to end that segment right there. But boom, end the segment. All right, well, let's move on. All right, I got this last story for you guys. I should do an ad, though, before we go to the last story. So let's go on over to the ad room. All right, so I'm gonna kill some air real quick. Gotta free up that air a little bit. They don't like when you jump from a story and then go right into an ad, because they don't want the ad to be associated with whatever opinion you may have, which is fair. That's fair. I don't want to do an ad campaign after talking about Civil War and stuff like that and be like, and they support it. No, we're not going to do that. But anyway, so we are going to read an ad, and of course, one of my favorite ads. We're going to do the 1775 coffee ad. Let's get that one up and running. Get it up and running, and then we'll get to the last story of the day. Guys, you still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Well, now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who have been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Hell yeah, guys. Free up some air. Free up some air. All right, shitty go. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh. Got a text message. Let's see, just responding to that real quick before we move on to the next story. We're supposed to divide up the ads and the stories anyway, so it's fine. This is the last story of the day, guys. Before we wrap up the show. So we'll pull that up right now. Come on, I'm trying to send a text message. It's not freaking sending. Hello, phone. Quit being retarded. Thank you. Jeez, Louise. What's up? Eye of Horus. You look sad. Why do I look sad? I look sad? Weird. Get your 1775 harvester. I was sad because my phone wasn't working. Very sad. Very sad my phone wasn't working. You look sad. That's interesting. No, that's just my resting sad face. You know what doesn't make me sad, though, is this, because this story was pretty funny. Let's talk about this. Another story from the Gateway Pundit. Joe Exotic, serving over 2 decades in prison, asked, why is Carol Baskin's life worth more than Justice Kavanaugh's, amid light sentence for would-be assassin? In a glaring example of America's two-tier justice system, Tiger King star Joe Exotic, whose real name is Joseph Maldonado, continues to rot in federal prison, serving a staggering 21-year sentence for wildlife violations and a dubious murder-for-hire plot. Meanwhile, Nicholas John Rosk, the man who plotted to assassinate Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, was handed a lenient 97th month term, just over 8 years, by a Biden-appointed judge. Sad day in America when Carol Baskin is 3 times more valuable than a Supreme Court justice. You truly need to let this sink in. Yeah, literally. He had a murder-for-hire plot. This guy actively was going to carry out the attack. He had all of the things to do it. Speaking to the Gateway Pundit from prison, Exotic questioned why Baskin's life is worth so much more than Kavanaugh's. It proves how screwed up our justice system is, and how powerful Carol Baskin is, one or the other. It says, or how powerful Carol Baskin is. Yeah, either Carol Baskin's more powerful than the Supreme Court justice, or our justice system is screwed. So Joe Exotic told the Gateway Pundit that his message for President Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi would be that someone can threaten to kill a Supreme Court justice and get 8 years, and somebody can be accused, with the accusers admitting to perjury on television, of a made-up crime and get 2 decades. The concerning part about our whole system is that they went on worldwide television on season 2 of Tiger King and not only admitted to perjury, but the hitman took them to the zoo and showed them how he was going to kill me, Still, I can't get the White House to respond. That's sad. Well, I don't know. What is he talking about? He's saying that the hitman was going to kill him instead? Exotic lamented how Trump should be the first person to understand his persecution, as he himself has faced over 90 lawfare indictments. This disparity in sentences between Exotic and Rosk should have conservatives fuming over the political bias in the courts. How is it possible that a zookeeper entangled in a reality TV-fueled feud with a liberal activist was hammered with over twice the time as someone who nearly upended the Supreme Court? Seriously, that's a genuine question. Ross' chilling plot unfolded in June 2022 when he traveled from California to Maryland armed with a pistol, knife, zip ties, and burglary tools, intent on killing Justice Kavanaugh amid the fallout from Roe v. Wade. He pleaded guilty in April to attempting to murder a Supreme Court justice, a crime carrying a potential life sentence. 8 years? 8 years. This man pleaded guilty, showed up to his house with all the tools, and he gets 8 years. Joe Exotic is alleged to have hired someone to carry out a murder of Carol Baskin, and he got 2 decades. That bitch Carol Baskin, man. That bitch Carol Baskin. Why is she more important than Kavanaugh? Prosecutors pushed for at least 30 years, citing that the grave threat to the judiciary. Instead, the U.S. District Judge Deborah Boardman opted for mercy, in part because he identifies as transgender. Of course he does. Sentencing him to 97 months on October 3rd. Contrast this with Joe Exotic's ordeal. Convicted in 2019 on federal wildlife charges after being targeted to be made an example of by PETA and 2 counts of murder for hire targeting Baskin. Exotic was initially slapped at 22 years, later reduced to 21 on appeal. Now 62 and battling prostate cancer. He's incarcerated at Federal Medical Center Fort Worth. Exotic insists he's innocent, claiming that case against him was built on lies, and mounting evidence supports his allegations of witness perjury. Key government witnesses, including alleged hitman Alan Glover and informant James Garrettson, have been accused of perjuring themselves during the trial. Bombshell text messages uncovered after the trial reveal contradictions in Glover's testimony. He allegedly admitted to details on the stand that forensic exams later disproved. Some witnesses even confessed to lying under oath in television interviews and in public statements, with Exotic's team arguing this constitutes grounds for a new trial. In 2023, court filing highlighted Garrettson's alleged false claims about his relationship with Baskin, further undermining the prosecution's case. Despite these revelations, Exotic lost his latest appeal in July, with the 10th Circuit Court upholding his convictions. Exotic has turned to clemency as his last hope. Earlier this year, Exotic submitted a formal clemency application to the White House, which is reportedly under investigation. He's publicly begged President Trump for intervention, warning that without commutation to time served, his cancer will kill him behind bars. Exotic confirmed to the Gateway Pundit that the pardon office contacted his prison to request a status update on him, and the counselor recommended granting him his freedom. Interesting. So the prison counselor is recommending his freedom. Unfortunately, the pardon office has been stalled and has not issued a single one since May. I have to get out to tell my story, Exotic said. I don't want to die until I clear my name. That really sucks, man. I mean, if it's true that all of this was lies about him, that really does suck. But I do think he did commit some crimes in regards to the tigers and stuff. I think there was some mistreatment there. But serve time for that. About the Carol Baskin stuff, I don't know. Well, I'd have to look into that more. Supporters are urged to send letters to the pardon office, and Exotic's legal team cites the perjury scandals as proof of a miscarriage of justice. More information about the scandalous plot against him can be found on his website. Those who wish to contribute to his legal battle can do so here. Listen to the latest update from Exotic's lawyer below. Well, that is a genuine question, though. Why is it that Carol Baskin's life is worth more than that of Justice Kavanaugh's? Is Carol Baskin a politician? Is she someone that makes decisions on a countrywide level? No. Justice Kavanaugh is. He actively makes decisions that affect the entire country, and someone tried to take his life. That should be life in prison. They all need to be in jail, if you ask me. Yeah, look, Joe Exotic probably needs to be in jail, but so does Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin needs to be in jail. And the guy that tried to assassinate Justice Kavanaugh should get life in prison. He actually was a really good president, but he had 3 big failures. He signed no-fault divorce into law. He granted amnesty to thousands of illegals, and he shut down our mental institutions. Talking about Reagan? Reagan's dumbass shut them down. Yeah, Reagan sucks, dude. I don't like Reagan. Wasn't he the one that helped get the National Firearms Act into law too? So he took a bunch of our guns too. So screw that guy. Wonder how the U.S. would look today if JFK hadn't been murdered. Look, man, we wouldn't be in the same world. We would not be in the same world. Let's see. Reagan really wasn't that great. The more I hear, the less I like him. Exactly. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the show, guys, because my stomach is acting up again, and I need to get back to the porcelain throne. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to end it on, I have my new song. I've been trying to write some songs. I'm not gifted in terms of making beats or making, or singing. I can sing to some extent, but I can't, sing my own songs that I write. But I am good grammatically. I'm good with words, and I'm good with making songs. So I've been writing songs and putting them in Suno, and then I will tweak them for hours on end and get the best one. And the one I played at the start is my most recent one. What it's about is you don't always get a choice. You don't always get a choice in if you become someone's enemy. And you know, you can ask for amends, you can ask to make amends, you can ask to be their friend, but you're not always given that choice. They don't give you that choice. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna find someone to raid out to while the song is playing, and then I'm going to run to the restroom. Thank you guys. Enjoy the song. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Dismiss me, remove me, personify me by what you perceive as reality. Hate me without reason, treat me like the enemy. You didn't give me a choice, so go rejoice. I'll make my own move. I have nothing to prove. They say to take the high road, but I know you make me out to be the villain, which means I'm the enemy. I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Persecute me with extremity. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? This isn't what I chose. They feed me to the crows. That's the way life goes. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Extremity. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Despite what's inside, they sit there and lie. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be an adversary, but you made the choice. So sit there and rejoice. I'm your enemy, and that's just how it be. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Extremity. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Persecute me with extremity. Perhaps one day you and I may see eye to eye, but I'm not the guy to just lay down and die. That's not how this story ends. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Persecute me with extremity. I'm the enemy, I'm the enemy. Why won't you sit beside me? Tossed aside, we don't see eye to eye. We could have been friends, but instead you chose an enemy.